Love the RB15, you love the RB16, the RB17 is here, and it's better than ever. It's an improved tactic, a very unique shape, and we cooked with every single team you can imagine, with 3 very different standards of teams, and we come out on top in every single one. I will say, if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and if you enjoy the content that much, please do turn on that notification bell, because over 80% haven't. You're missing uploads, and we are absolutely cooking this year, so be sure to do that. But let's go through and learn about this tactic. If you like a unique shape, you'll love this one. To kick things off today, nice and simple, this tactic actually has got a tactical style. Based off the tiki-taka, we are going to load in any formation because the shape is, let's say, quite unique. I will quickly show the first tactic. Again, there is going to be 3 variants today. The first variant is going to be with Dortmund. As you can see, Europa League winning, Bundesliga winning, runners up in the Pokal. Unfortunately, Wolfsburg a little bit too strong when it comes to the penalties, but a very, very strong German season where our players absolutely took off in terms of goal scoring. Defensively, also very, very strong. 116 goals being scored, fewer shots against. The most shots, the most points, the most dribbles, and the most clean sheets. I will say, we're not really a possession-based team, although we are playing on tiki-taka. The tiki-taka is more the quick link passes. We're not really a controlling team, but that being said, still 57% of the ball, so not too bad there at all. And going over to the data hub, it's going to be 3.41 goals per game, only 0.85 conceded, over 16.8 shots every single match, and a fantastic pass completion. Let's go over and let's build the tactic, shall we? So we are going to have it linked up like this. It does change quite a fair bit, so don't worry. I do want to quickly say, if you want to get access to all 3 of these tactics, you can do so by joining the Patreon. Not only do you get this, you get them on mobile, you get them on console, you get my rebuild files, my rebuild tactics, you get one-on-one tactical help, you get priority in requests, and access to some pretty big giveaways. We've had some big giveaways, £300, £400 match tickets. We're giving away a lot of stuff because the support's been unreal, so come on over and get involved, and trust me, you won't regret it. But let's go through and talk through this team then. So we're initially going to kick things off with a sweeper keeper on attack. Now, for me, this is actually quite rare because I usually go with support, but I sort of like the idea of having a bit of a risk-taking goalkeeper. The whole project behind the RB series is to have unique looking tactics that genuinely do exploit the match engine in different ways, and this worked really well and really played in to this project. Now, going over to the right back, we are going to go with a wing back who is actually also going to be set to attack. So anyone that likes attacking wing backs, this one might be for you. We are going to add some instructions that is going to consist of run wide, stay wide, and also tackle harder. So again, as you can probably already tell, we're not going to be nervous pushing this wing back up at all. He can get really stuck into the game. We are then going to go over and quickly just add 2 ball playing defenders who actually are going to be quite reserved. They're going to be default options, so nice and simple and easy to tag along with. Next to him is going to be an inverted wing back. Again, a nice mixed back line now, an inverted option, a winger or wing back who is going to push out wide. We've switched things up. We've made it really sort of different to what you're used to seeing. We're really late on in the year now. You've seen a lot of basic 4-2-3-1s, 4-3-3s. I'm trying to make something different that also has a purpose, and this definitely does. So the inverted wing back is going to be set to take more risks and also dribble more. So this player here is actually going to be playing quite an attacking role in the team. We're then going to drag this player out. You're like, Josh, what are you doing here? We're going to drag him out because he is actually going to be playing as an inverted winger on support, believe it or not, and he is going to have some instructions, and that one instruction is simply going to be told to sit narrow because the wingback is going to push up and obviously overtake him, so he is going to be on support, not too attacking, because that right back has got a lot to do. So make sure you've got a fantastic wingback in that position. If not, simply sign one. Now, both of the midfield players are going to be sitting quite deep. So on the right hand side, we have got a DM who is simply going to be set to support, and when it comes to him, he is going to have a few instructions consistent of take fewer risks, we're going to have him on shoot less often, and also tackle harder. So again, a very risk-free DM. And next to him, which will make the inverted wingback have a lot of sense, is going to be the Volante coming in on support, and we are going to have some instructions. We're going to have him on shoot less, get further forwards, and also tackle harder. So he's going to get forward, the inverted wingback is going to fill that void, and it works really well, and it's beautiful to actually see inside of the game. Now the AM does remain in the team. However, he is going to be set to attack, and he is also going to have some instructions. We're going to have him on take more risks. We're going to have him on roam, channels, and also tackle harder. I really like using this role at the moment. You've probably seen it in the videos. It's absolutely incredible. I actually sometimes prefer this to a shadow striker, in my opinion. On the left-hand side, we are going to go with a winger. It's very important he does stay out on the sort of wide areas, because obviously the inverted option is there, so we don't need two people doing the same thing. So the winger is simply going to be on the left, but I'm not opposed to him when he has the ball cutting in. Just I don't want him sitting narrow or anything like that. When he's got the ball, he can cut in completely fine. But when he's, you know, out of the ball, just waiting for it, stay wide, which obviously he does being a winger on attack. And lastly, we are going to have the advanced forward, who is simply going to be the goal scorer, the bagsman, shoot more often. Now, it looks unique, it is very unique, but it absolutely cooks. Now let's learn about the team instructions. Again, all based off the tiki-taka on the positive mentality. I'll quickly go ahead and change that before I do go and forget. Let's go through and talk about this then. So it is going to be set to fairly wide. We're going to underlap left, we're going to overlap right, all while playing out from the back. The final third, we are going to go for low crosses. It worked really well in this tactic. The tempo is meta, so we're going to go higher. We're going to run at defense when it comes to the dribbling, quite a direct approach, to be honest. And the passing, we're actually going to keep to much shorter. So this is almost a hybrid of a counter-attack and tiki-taka tactic, which results in some pretty exciting football, to be honest. In transition, we're going to counter-press and counter while playing to the centre-backs and simply rolling the ball out. And when it comes to out of possession, we are going to deploy a higher defensive line with the high pressing line of engagement. We're going to max out the trigger press, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, we're going to get stuck in, and we're going to step up more. Now, this is going to give you the default tactic, but I've got a tactic that West Ham won the Premier League with. Do you want to see it? I think we do. So yeah, they didn't only win the Premier League, we also won the FA Cup and got to the Carabao Cup final. It was a very, very strong season, which I still can't quite get over. A ridiculous season. Yes, City weren't at their best, neither were Liverpool. We did draw 3, I guess we lost 4, but still a very, very strong season. And you know what? The Data Hub isn't exactly, it wasn't lucky. We scored over 3 goals a game, so we're outscoring a lot of the big boys in the league. An 89% pass completion, a ridiculous amount of shots per game. I've got to go and show you this tactic because I genuinely think this might be some of the best results we've got with a team like West Ham. For the first time in the channel's history, we're going to go over more of the underdog tactic before the best tactic for scoring goals. So this is going to be the tactic we used in that West Ham season. It is very similar, but it does change a little bit. And as you can see, you can probably understand it's a lot more defensive. So the sweeper keeper does remain the same. The ball playing defender on the left and the right also remain the same. When it comes to the wing back on the right, now on automatic, on tackle harder and mark tighter. The inverted wing back, now simply a default option on the left hand side, with the DM on the left being on support, on pass it shorter, shoot less, hold position, tackle harder and also mark tighter, and on the right a DM on defend, on take fewer risks and also tackle harder. On the right we've got an inverted winger on pass it shorter and sit narrow, because this wing back will sometimes drift forwards and just having this guy not in his way is a really good shout. And on the left a winger on support, on pass it shorter, cut inside and also roam from the position. Now, instead of him being cut inside to go and score a goal on this occasion, it's more to make him closer to the other players to keep the ball, to be honest, more than go and get loads and loads of goals. Having him cut inside and be closer to the DM, the AM, the other DM as well, benefited us really an absolute ton. The AM comes in on support, pass it shorter, cross less, shoot less, roam, move into the channels, and of course tackle harder. And the complete forward simply now is going to be on support on the default to the team instructions. So again, the tiki-taka, this time we are all the way down to balance. This is going to remain in the middle. We are still going to maintain with low crosses. We're going to play out from defense. The tempo remains like this and actually does go down to a slightly lower tempo. And honestly, that's it. It's incredibly simple. They've got the job done to such a high level. Sometimes you can overcomplicate things. We've kept it pretty, well, basic, to be honest, and it's worked incredibly well. In transition, we're going to counter, we're going to leave this blank, and we're going to play to anyone across the back line while rolling the ball out. Again, a very simple screen, but very effective. And lastly, out of possession, we are going to go with the high press line of engagement, the standard defensive line, and we're going to leave this bang on standard when it comes to the middle. And that's going to be your defensive tactic / underdog tactic that won West Ham a double, the Premier League and an English trophy. You're now going to see a tactic that blew the match engine away and scored an insane amount of goals. That was with PSG, of course, the creme de la creme, the team who can score all the goals, but we are going to win the quadruple, the Trophy des Champions. We're going to win that 3-0 over Monaco, the French Cup. We're going to beat Marseille, which is going to be a ridiculous game there. 2-0 win over Barcelona and a league win. We absolutely stormed the league, and the date hub is going to be incredibly appealing at 5 goals a game, 0.32 conceded, over 26 shots, a great pass completion, and a very good tackle win ratio. When it comes to goals, this is the tactic for you. Trust me, it impressed me. Hopefully it impressed you. That's how it shapes up on paper. So as you can see, it is going to be a little bit different. And the reason I say it's going to be a little bit different is because it's a little bit more attacking, basically. So the goalkeeper does remain the same. Both of the ball-playing defenders also remain the same. The inverted wing-back now on attack. Loads of attacking instructions by default. That is the first real core change. The wing-back on the right obviously goes back to being attacking. Again, really good to see. The inverted winger also now on attack, also on sit narrow, so he does not collide with the wing-back, but a big change there. The DM, take fewer risks, shoot less often, and tackle harder. The Volante, shoot less, get further forwards, and also tackle harder. The AM on attack, on take more risks, roam, channels, and also tackle harder. And the winger is now on cut inside and shoot more often to really get in them goals. And the advanced forward, simply on shoot more often. That's going to be part of the reason why the tactic scored so many goals. The team instruction played the other part. Then the tiki-taka, this time set to attacking, so that is the other reason why we are going to be scoring so many more goals. We're still going to underlap on the left and overlap on the right while playing out from the back. The final third, we didn't change anything, still going to be low crosses. This is where it changes a little bit though, because run at defence and be more expressive, much shorter when it comes to the passing, and the tempo we're going to max out to higher. So you're probably slowly seeing how this tactic has transformed into a goal scorer machine. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, again, get the ball moving nice and quick while rolling the ball out. And lastly, the last reason to why we scored so many more goals is the much higher defensive line. A maxed out trigger press, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, because we're going to have a ton of players up there, step up more and get stuck in. It's all guns blazing, attacking football at its best. And you've really got everything you need here, guys. You've got a default tactic which will work with pretty much almost every team. You've got a defensive tactic designed for underdogs / to waste time in the games in any game you play, but you can play a lot of games with this tactic. I did with West Ham and it was incredibly consistent. And an attacking tactic you can use with a powerhouse or to simply have fun. I've got you covered on every single level. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Again, if you want to get access to all 3 of these tactics in one simple fast download, saves you a lot of time. You can check out the Patreon and join the other 4,800 people, where not only do you get this, you get over 12 more perks on top of this as well. You get absolutely loads, absolutely tons of content. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.